Look at that cover. You could tell me you're not going to read that book? Nah. Hi wonderful people, and welcome back to my channel, Book Quiz with Giselle. How are you going? How are you spending your long weekend? I hope you are having a phenomenal time. I am, because I'm enjoying reading some books that I have lined up for this month. So this video is about what I plan to read in the month of April. I have incorporated 3 books that were recommended to me by my followers. So I'll shout you out as we go through this video. Don't forget to, you know what, subscribe, yes. I'm waiting. All right, so let's get into this video. So this TBR is made up of books that I saw posted on Instagram, because you know I post there. So make sure and check me out on my other social media platforms. So yes, so you know I follow authors that I really like, and I always find these different books posted at authors. You know, they go out there and they market their books on Instagram. So some of these books were taken from Instagram. Like, I saw the cover and I'm like, I have to read this. I have to. So some of those books are from there. Other books are from TBRs, books that I just, wanted to read for the longest time, and I just kept putting it off. So and then others are books that were recommended to me by my subscribers. So first up is Savage Beginnings, and it's written by J.L. Beck and C. Hellman. This is the first book of the Mortifi crime family series, and obviously it's a crime family, so you know it is definitely a dark mafia romance. If I enjoy book 1, I am definitely just going to roll with book 2. So basically what I get from the synopsis of this series and from some book reviews is that the heroine, she is taken as payment by a mob boss, because maybe her dad is a mob boss as well, but his empire is crumbling. He sees her, he becomes obsessed with her, and he just needs to have her. Like, that's my kind of reading, that's my kind of thing. I'm super excited to start reading this. I already have it in my library. I get all my books off of Kindle Unlimited, so if it's there, I am definitely going to read it. So this one is already there. I already have it downloaded, and I am ready to roll. If you watched my video, Best Steamy Romance Book of 2020 Part 2, I believe, you would have seen that I recommended a book written by Keta, Kendrick, and it was Beautiful Chaos. Like, I love that book. And I'm now about to read book 2, Quiet Chaos, and it is with her sister Mecca. Well, Mecca is a badass, so why I have not read this yet, I don't know. It's just that, with the beginning of this year, I was really trying to read books written by different authors, and I came across so many, some good, some not so good, but that's all part of the reading experience. So Quiet Chaos, in book 1, her cousin was supposed to marry the head of the organized crime family. All right, that didn't happen because she fell for his brother, who was the executioner for that family. So it's up now to Mecca to form this powerhouse crime family by marrying the head of that crime family. Yes. And Mecca is the one that is running the show in her crime family. So it's 2 crime families merging. Obviously, it's an arranged marriage, but Mecca is the boss. So her cousin was the bookkeeper. She knew everything. She helped call the shots, but it was Mecca that made sure the shots was delivered. So, and we all know the guy mightn't be able to handle her level of badassness, if that's a word. But yeah, so I'm super excited to read this. moving on to the next book. Probably I'm going with a trend now. So I read book 1 in the Love Repair series written by Nia Arthurs, and she was also on that list of the best steamy books that I read in 2020. And let me tell you, I'm going to read Deserve Me. Like, book 1 was titled Earn Me, and book 2 is Deserve Me. Book 1, it was so funny, and just seeing the husband like groveling and begging, I just loved it. So Deserve Me, I think it's probably going to follow the same storyline where their relationship or marriage is going through a really rocky time, and the guy's probably going to meet up with Doc, who is a mechanic, but somehow he's able to provide marriage counseling to these guys, and they're able to win back the love and the respect and the trust of their wives. I'm so excited to read this one. Again, why did I take so long to read part 2? I don't know, but I'm excited to read it now. Like, you know, I'm vibing that now, right? I'm feeling that kind of way right now, and most of the times I read based on how I feel, on my mood, on my vibes. So if I'm vibing or feeling for something dark, I do dark. I'm feeling for something light, I might do a historical romance or something. But yeah, real feeling it right this month. I think this month is going to be real good. So moving on to the next book. These 2 books are written by Monica Walters, and the first book is called Access Denied. Like, if you see the cover, look at that cover. You could tell me you're not going to read that book? Nah. So Access Denied, Luxury Love. It is about Shari. She's the oldest of all her siblings, and she basically had to be responsible and be the mature one, taking care and supporting her younger siblings, as well as, you know, focusing on her career. And then in comes Ross, whom was led down a path when he was younger, and he had to mature quick. So these 2 persons, they had a lot of responsibilities. They probably had to deal with a lot of things growing up. And now Shari, she feels lonely because, you know what, all her siblings have gone on to do what they need to do and are probably in stable relationships, and she's there all alone. So I cannot wait into getting into this story. I cannot. And the next book is Let Me Ride. This is an age gap romance. There's a 17 years age gap between Vidya and Ashton. So I'm like, a whole 17 years. And to know she's 45 and he's 28, I'm like, I have to read that. I have to see how things turn out. I have to see what trials and tribulations they went through to get there happily ever after, because I could see some things going on there. Up next we have Serena Ackroyd's Dark and Dirty Sinners MC. You know your girl love dark romance, and to boot, I like an MC romance. Love it. Love the action, love the dirtiness of it, love the sexiness of it. Just love everything about an MC romance. So I'm excited to read this one. It seems really interesting. I've read some reviews about it, and persons, they love it. Individual reviews said it wasn't as dark, but you know what, I'm still going to give it a try. There are approximately 7 to 8 books in this particular series, and you know me, if I read book 1, I'm going to read book 2. They are all standalone, and I think each book is named after the hero in the story. So I think you have a Knight, Steel, Link, Hawk. So the books are all titled after them. So we'll see how this goes. And you know, if your girl like it, you're gonna hear about it later down in this month. So while scrolling through Instagram, I saw some pics, right, of these books. I'm like, ooh, these covers look really nice. So it was like, you know, I'm going to add this. I went and I did check out these books, and I'm like, oh, I had to read it. So I'm like, I have to read it. These books are written by V. Carter. One is an MC romance and one is a mafia. How awesome is that? Right? How awesome is that? The question is, which one do I want to start first? So I'll start with the MC. There's only one book in this series, Thorn, book 1, and it's the Sons of Devils MC. This book was released in March, the later half of March. So there isn't any other books within this series, but that is fine. Once it's a stand-alone and it doesn't end in a cliffhanger, I am good. But this is what got me, right? This is what got me. So God forgives, the Brotherhood doesn't. So that is what I'm in for. The next book by V. Carter that I want to read is The Mafia King. It is book 2 in the Young Irish Rebels series, and it's sort of an arranged marriage. Again, you know, I love a mafia book. Better yet, an arranged marriage. Like, you know, it had to have something going on between two mafia rivals, and I'm all for that, especially if she was arranged to marry someone and then her father ended up giving her to someone else. That just spells out drama, and that just spells out back and out for me. So I'm like, whoo, Giselle, let's get reading. That is how I felt when I saw that cover, when I read the synopsis. So it's happy reading this April month. If you have been watching my videos from the beginning of 2021, which is when I started my channel in January, you would have seen Amelia Hutchins' The Fae Chronicles appear in maybe 2 or 3 of my videos because I just love that series. I love her writing. I thoroughly, completely, entirely enjoy her books. Every single one that I have read, I had no issues with it, and I kept putting off her other series, which is a spin-off from the Fae Chronicles, playing with monsters. Like, first we had the Fae and the Horde, and now we're playing with monsters. Like, I know what to expect from Amelia Hutchins, and honestly, I did not want to start playing with monsters until I had completely read the Fae Chronicles, because I love Rider and I loved Sin books. So I didn't want to get, you know, mixed up and, you know, reading one book and then reading another book, because I know there's a reading order to her series, to her world, because everyone, you know, it's intermingled and intertwined. But I had to read the Fae Chronicles first. So now it's time for playing with monsters, and I have not read a good paranormal book in a while. I have not. I just haven't been able to find one that just grabs my attention and pull me in. So I know Amelia Hutchins, she's going to do that for me with playing with monsters. The following 3 books were suggested by my subscribers. So these were suggested. Let me know what you think, okay? Let me know what you think. Black Love, White Lies. I'm like, okay. And then this, you know, the synopsis goes where this girl or this woman, she just has bad luck with romance. She has bad luck with relationship. She finds her boyfriend in a compromising situation. And then you have the hero where one of his ex gives him a proposition in terms of trying to manipulate him into marrying him. And it's all about, will he choose love or will he choose the option of money, right? And I found this to be quite interesting. I have not read any storyline like this, so I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a try. It was published a while ago. It is like, you know, your typical interracial romance, and you know, I love to read interracial romance, and I think that is why this book was suggested for me. So I'm thinking, you know what, Giselle, you're gonna enjoy this, because 1, it is an interracial romance, you really enjoy that. 2, I'm all about, you know, discovering new authors. 3, The plot, I'm thinking, yeah, he might end up going for love, but what consequences? Like, what will he be giving up? What would he be sacrificing in his pursuit of the heroine? So, up next, this one was also suggested, White Male by Kim J. West. I've never read anything by this author. They have 2 books in this particular series. It is another interracial romance. Like, I guess everyone really enjoy my interracial romances recommendations, so thank you. And you know what, maybe I'll have to do another one soon, because I think I'm getting some really great interracial romance recommendations from my subscribers, so thank you very much. I guess in this book the heroine falls for her boss. This follows Lena and Jonathan, and Lena she moves to Atlanta, and her boss Jonathan is treating her like crap, but you know what, she's attracted to him, and they probably develop this type of relationship. So I'm really interesting to see where this story goes, but I'm thinking if it spans the course of 2 books, that there's definitely a lot of drama and a lot of backing out, which I really like in a book. You know, I wouldn't say I hate, but I don't like, you know, smooth sailing relationships. And I think this one, I'm going to get that spiciness, that juiciness, that eventful, drama-full interaction between Lena and Jonathan, because that's what I like. I don't like nothing smooth. I love relationships where there's so much chemistry, but there's so many bumps along the way in that relationship, and that in their pursuit for their happily ever after. And I think I'm just going to get it in this book. So this made it to my list. How many empty romances am I going to read this month? It seems like a lot. Empty romance, mafia romance, interracial romance, a few black love romance, but yeah. And the last one on my list from my subscribers to read this month in April is The Devil's Disciples, MC. Yes, and it's written by Scott Heldred, and the name of the book is Baker. Basically, it's about this girl who moves next door to an outlaw, a biker, and she falls for him, you know. But what can you do, right? What can you do? And the last thing he's expecting is, you know, probably to meet this nice, sweet girl who knows absolutely nothing about MC life. And you know, I find with books like that, there's so much drama because they have to adapt to that lifestyle, because that is not something that you can just, you know, we are together, hooray. No. MC life is a whole different lifestyle, and you have to adapt to that, right? It's not a skip in the park. And I think just watching this couple, Andy and Baker, just watching Andy, which is the heroines, and Baker make things work, especially knowing that Andy is a bank manager and his MC robbed that bank 6 months ago. Hey, we know it's going to be so dramaful, and it's going to have so much twists and turns, and that is what I love. So thank you, subscribers. So thank you, Catherine Braxton, Mrs. Burns, and Miss Amira James for recommending these books to me. I'm going to read them, and I'm going to let you know if your girl loved them. Alright, if I love it, if I didn't really like it, if it was okay, if it was awesome, if I give it 5 stars, 3 stars, no stars, 4 stars, some type of stars, you know, I will let you know. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your recommendations. Do you have any books suggestions for me to read? Have you read any of these books mentioned in my video? If you have, hit your girl up, let me know what to expect. Don't give me no spoilers, please. You know what? Yes, give me spoilers. I like spoilers because then I get more excited to read the book. So hit me up. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment because you know a girl like to chat. So leave a comment down below and hit that notification bell so you will know every time I post another video. Look out until I post another one.